of quick insight and complete self-absorption. And I think this speaks to Jesus' humanity. Jesus is pure teenager, and Jesus is pure human. Jesus is like us. Jesus is us. Naughty, yet nice. Imperfect, yet insightful. Full of ourselves, and yet hungry for something else. You see, in this story, we find in Jesus' life, that same tension between belonging and becoming that we find in our own lives. We belong to God's family, and with that comes a distinctive responsibility and an instinctive desire to become who God wants us to be. Jesus stays in the temple not to defy his parents, but because he had to be about his Father's house. He had to be there. He was growing up and wanting to fulfill that deep human need to be who God called him to be. And we know that's a tall order, certainly for Jesus, but for any of us who just ache to do God's will. And it's in this aching that we find comfort in the promise of Christmas. Emmanuel, God with us. We aren't in this alone. We have help. We have God with us. Frederick Buechner, a Presbyterian minister, theologian, writer, just says it beautifully. And I want to share those words with you that describe, I think, perfectly what this season means, what Christmas means, and what God becoming human means for us. He says, those who believe in God can never, in a way, be sure of him again. Once they have seen him in a stable, they can never be sure where he will appear or to what lengths he will go, to what ludicrous depths of self-humiliation he will descend in his wild pursuit of man. If holiness and the awful power and majesty of God were present in the least auspicious of all events, this birth of a peasant's child, then there is no place or time so slowly or earthbound that holiness can't be present there too. And this means we're never safe. That there is no place that we can hide from God. No place where we are safe from his power to break into and recreate the human heart. Because it is just where he seems most helpless that he is most strong. And just where we least expect him, that he comes most fully. That's how it works. Emmanuel, God with us. God with us so we would know grace. God with us so we would know mercy. God with us so that we would know love. God with us so that we would go and do likewise. Amen.